Okay, let's start. So yesterday we learned how do we interface the Node MCU to the relay, right? We take the VCC and we connect it to one of the end of the LDR, and we connect the next end of the LDR to the another end, another maybe one lead of the resistor, and another lead of the resistor is given to ground, right? This is the connection, and we are going to take it in output at this node by varying this resistance or this resistance. We can vary the voltage over here. Why are we interested in doing this? Because our if we do it directly, it will give us a variable current, but our node MCU, which is or Arduino, cannot read different currents. Okay, it works on voltages, different voltage levels. So we need to convert that current levels to the voltage levels. I mean, we need to vary when we vary the resistance, the voltage level should change. So we'll use this voltage divider bias. Basically, this is known as voltage divider. This we get in our subjects also, which is called as network theory. And next, I'll just tell you the calculation that I said yesterday very fast. Okay. First, you need when you connect it normally, then you calculate the current first, V by R. First, we calculate the current. Here, what is the R? Let's take this as 1K, or you can take any value, it's fine. 5K. Okay. This resistance depends upon what you take. The LDR values varies a lot because some are 20K, some are 50K, there are 100K, there are more big values also. Okay, according to that, I'll just give you a formula RS, which is called, let's name this thing RS. RS, and this is R1. Okay, so the formula will be by Ohm's law, we know that voltage current is equal to voltage by resistance. So voltage by total resistance would be R R1. So the total voltage, when we want to calculate, we want to shift it by voltages, right? So voltage is I into R. So we'll write V is equal to V by RS R1 whole into R1. And you can even directly obtain this by using voltage divider uh, formula. Okay, we're not getting that technical. The voltage divider formula we learned like this, something like this. You know, NT we might learn it like this. When you have a power source, so the resistance would be total voltage multiplied by the resistance in which you are calculating R1 by total resistance. So this is the voltage divider circuit formula, which they also encounter. If there is an EC guy here, they might know this. 400 is the voltage divider, and the same thing we can obtain it by like this also. So I just want to know you this, and the next thing you people need to know is by varying the light intensity, as it is an LDR, as is an LDR, as the light intensity changes, the resistance changes. As the light intensity increases, the resistance decreases. Okay, as the light intensity decreases, the resistance increases. So this resistance is RS, which we said that RS, right? Okay, so when the RS changes, the denominator here in this case, the RS increases. So the denominator increases, and automatically when the denominator is increased, the numerator will decrease and the voltage will decrease. When in this case, when RS decreases, so the denominator is decreased. So the numerator will be increased and the voltage will be more. Okay, this is the relation. And now uh, I'll show this to you by using a digital multimeter. Give me a second. Let's go to this and so so this little thing here is an LDR. Okay. What I'll do is I'll just place it somewhere else here. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll connect both the leads, the positive and negative of the digital multimeter. Alright. As this is the resistor, it doesn't have any positive or negative. You can connect it anyway. It's fine. Okay. Now I'll check the resistance. Now you can see the resistance is about something 16 point or 17.9. When I'll switch on the flash, and you can see the resistance now. It falls below something around 2.1. Okay, you can't see the dot here, but there is 2.0. This is okay. So, so as the light intensity changes, the resistance here changes. Okay. Now, as you have understood this, now what we'll do is we'll just go code and we'll upload the code in the Node MCU and we'll just upload the values to the ThinkSpeak. Now, first I'll just demonstrate you the connection, how we should make the connection. Then we. Now you have. I did the same connections the way that I showed in the circuit. One lead of the LDR is connected to the B in here. You can see the B in here at the end. Just B in. B in gives 5 volts as output, so it acts as supply voltage and to the top connection. Okay, and the other lead is given to another pin of the resistor. Another lead of the resistor, and another lead of the resistor is grounded. Okay, I'll just connect this to the ground. Okay. Ground. At the end here, we have a ground here, so connect to the ground. We're done. We've done the connections, and the middle pin, which gives us variable voltage, so that we'll give it to analog pin. Okay, A naught. Here, here we have A naught. So I'll just give it to A naught. And we can see, so it is connected to A naught. Now, as we done the connection part, okay, I'll just pardon the connections again. The top connection is given to the B in over here, and the middle connection is given to the A naught. The down connection is given to the ground, which is at the end. Okay, these are the connections. And now we'll just go code. Okay, let me open that. Okay, first, what we do is we'll declare the pins. Okay, we need LDR. Let's say LDR is equal to A naught. Okay, we declare the pins. We need the A naught pin, and for now, I think yeah, we just need A naught pin. So what we'll do is now we'll write pin mode. Okay, now we are taking the voltages or the values at the potential difference or the voltage at that point. So we are taking input. Okay, we are just taking that and just feeding it to the node MCU. So node MCU is taking input. So we need to put it input. We just write LDR. Okay, this is done. And we are taking input. And next thing we need to do is we want to look the values, how the values are coming. So we'll just open the serial monitor also. Yes, now we'll read the value. Now let's store it in a value display. So I'll just call it f equals analog read. So when you just take analog values, LDR is an analog sensor, right? So when you take analog values, you need to write analog, right? And when you take digital values, I mean, there are few sensors like fire detection sensor or touch sensor and different sensors. They are digital, so you write there digital. Okay, digital. And here we write analog read, and which pin we want to read LDR pin because it is directly A naught. Okay, and what we want to do is after reading it, now the value is in the variable dip. Now this is the variable dip. So now I want to print the value dip. So I'll just write. Okay, if you directly write print, the whole statements will be printed in only single line. So I wanted to print every single value in different lines. So I'll write new line that is ln. Now I'll just print and I'll call this code. Yeah. Okay, sorry, diff was not declared. So you would have it to go here and declare. Yeah. Whatever you are going to make it global, just declare it here always. Then that the values will be remain global for throughout the program. Okay. Right, but I need to print diff. I printed it here. Okay, just give me a second. Let me debug. Guys, can you hear my voice? I just connected to my phone. Guys, can you hear my voice? If yes, just say yes in the chat box. Okay, cool. Before you just heard the whole thing, right? The circuit. Okay, cool. Just forgot and connected it to my phone. So, mhm. Yeah. Let me give me a second. Let the code upload. There was a board error, no problem. Whenever you get this board error, just re-upload the code again. This board error comes because there will be a weak impedance match between the laptop and the Node MCU. Okay. If you ask me what is impedance, it is the combination of the resistance and reactive components like inductance and capacitance. There will be not good impedance match, so you'll get a kind of error. So now we have no error. Code is being uploaded. Don't worry, this is just an impedance match issue. The code will be uploaded. Sometimes the board error comes because you need to select Node MCU 0.9 and you select 1.0. Okay, sometimes that comes, sometimes this comes. Okay, now you can see the values will come in the serial monitor. You just need to click here, or you can click directly Control Shift M. Just continuously disconnecting and connecting my serial monitor. Second, I'll just disconnect and connect again. Now you can see the values are so fast and just going so high, so fast that we can't read them. So let's give some delay so that we could read them. Delay of, I'll just give 1 millisecond, which is 1000. Okay, done uploading. Now you can see the values that we are getting are 74, 75, 76, 78, like that. Now what I'll do is I'll switch on my camera here and I'll just switch on the flash. Okay, I switched on the flash of my camera, so you can see the values have gone high, right? So when I switch off the flash of the camera, if I make the room so dark,
1 second, I'll just make the room so dark and just switch off the light in my room. Now you see the value will go very, very low. Okay, now you can see the values are in single digits, right? 1, 8, like that. Okay, I'll just switch on the light in my room. Okay. Now, what we'll do, according to these conditions, we can just make sure that the light is on or off. Okay, when you place it outside, okay, you want to switch on a light or off a light when it is morning and night. Okay, when it is morning, then you get very high values beyond 50 or 70. When it is night, and then you get single digit values. So according to that, you can write a code to switch on and off an LED. That we'll do it right now. Okay, now as we know that we have the values in DIP, right? So we'll write a if loop. If DIP is lesser than 10, then what I should do is digital write. I'll use D0 pin. You can use anything. D0 high. Okay, when you upload this code, there will be an issue. Can anyone say what is the issue? We'll have an issue. Can anyone say what is the issue? Post in the chat box. If I do this, when value is less than 10, of course the D0 pin, the LED will be switch on. It's not a problem, but we'll have an issue. Okay, I'll just declare the pin mode here also. Even then we'll have an issue. Just try to debug the issue. At the time I'll write this one. We need to make it output because we want to glow it. Okay. Now, anyone in the issue? If no one, just say no. When the value is less than 10, the LED will be on. There's no problem. But even then we'll have an issue. What is that issue? Okay. If no one knows, just say no in the chat box. If yes, you can just type what is the issue. Okay, respond anything, just yes or no. Okay, let me give you a clue. You want to make sure that after the value is more than 10, the LED should get off, right? We wrote the code, if the value is less than 10, then the LED should go high. What if the value is greater than 10? Got it? We didn't write any loop for that, right? We didn't write anything for that. So we'll write else. Digital write D0 pin will make it low. Okay. Now it works fine, because when the value is less than 10, then the LED will go high, and if it is greater than 10, then it will go low. Did you get this point? If you get this point, then just post yes or no in the chat box. Yeah, good. Done. Now the values are coming in this way. Now I'll show you the LED is off initially. Just give me a second. Okay, now you can see the LED is off. When I turn off the light in my room, the LED will be on immediately. Okay. Okay. It is fluctuating because my flash is giving me some light. Okay. If you completely close it, then you'll get a complete low pulse. Okay. Okay. Did you get the point? If yes, just type yes in the chat box. If you have any doubts, even you can post in the chat box so that I could move forward. Any doubts, guys? Yes or no? Okay, I'll just move forward. Okay, cool. I assume that you people have no doubt. If you have doubt, please post it. Now, okay, we don't need this loop. Now what we'll do is, now we'll post these values into the ThingSpeak. Okay, this is ThingSpeak. We'll post all our values into this ThingSpeak. Okay. Okay, first what we need to do is we need to build the code for the ThingSpeak. Okay, before building the code, I'll just take you to creation of a channel. First, we need to create a new channel, and the channel name should be light intensity. Okay, the light intensity. You can put in a description, but will not put it now. Okay, field 1, just select it. Initially, it will be selected. Select any field, and that's it. You don't need to do anything. Show status and click save channel. Okay, now you have a channel with field 1. In field 1, you don't have any data. Okay, you remember the before class that we did using Blinky, right? We used the Blink RESTful API. From the browser, we just changed the value of the LED. Okay, now we are going to do the same thing. Okay, we are going to do the same thing. We'll use a RESTful API first, and we'll make this we'll make this RESTful API to get generated using our NodeMCU. Okay. Now the RESTful API, we'll just give it manually, and next we'll make sure the RESTful API is generated by using NodeMCU. Okay. Now, first what we'll do is, let's copy this thing. Till HTTP, you need to copy HTTPS. I mean, yes, you need to copy this right channel feed, which will write into the channel. Okay, Control P. Okay, change the field if you are in a different field. Okay, I'm in field 1, so I'm just using field 1, and the value is defaultly 0. And first we'll change the value to 100 and click enter. Now you can see the value will be updated in the ThingSpeak cloud. Give me a second. Go to private and check here. Okay. Okay. The first plot, the plot is on 100. Now let's give it another plot. Let's give it 500 this time. Now the second plot, you can see it has gone from 100 to 500. Now we'll just give it third plot. Let's give it 200 so that the curve will come down. So now you can see the curve is coming down. So now what we are doing is we are manually popping the data into the cloud. ThingSpeak cloud, we are manually just popping the data. And you can do another one thing is, I'll just pop another one data and I'll just show you. We'll just go into the code. We'll pop again something around 500 again. The curve goes up, right? Yeah, it's gone up. So what if you want to check the status, how many data has come, how many data has gone? You can use this read command. You can use this read API. You can copy this. Try to copy till HTTPS. Copy, Control C and Control V. Now, what this shows you is, this shows you at what time you have created the channel, what is the latitude, longitude, and all those details, and what are the feeds, at what time did you make the feed. Okay, this is in UTC format, and You can see 200, and all the data that we popped, the last data that we popped is 500. Okay, this shows you whatever data you have popped in and popped out and how many entries you have made. We have made 4 entries till now, so it shows you, and it shows you here also how many entries you have made. Okay, 4 entries you have made. Now what we'll do is we'll make the same code. Okay, you have the LDR values, or assume you have a temperature sensor and you are just updating the temperature sensor values to the ThingSpeak. For example, you have a big farm. In the big farm, you are taking the various temp values like humidity, temperature, and different values, and you are updating them to cloud. Okay, it is difficult for you to take every data and just click it like this, right? So you tell your assistant, which is NodeMCU, that okay, bye, just take all the data and just pop it to my cloud, which is ThingSpeak, and you'll just plot a graph here and use this graph to analyze that how your field is going on. Or yeah, you can use it in industries, that if the temperature is going high or if the temperature is going low, you can monitor it. Okay, now we'll do that using NodeMCU. How we can do? First, we need to write the code. First we need to write the code. To write the code, you have something called as Tun IoT. Okay, just click Tun IoT ESP32, or you can just click Tun IoT. You will just come to here. You click on this called Tun IoT, Tun code. You'll just come to this page. Loading, give me a second. Okay, now what you do is, like in our Arduino and NodeMCU, you have 2 sections. One is setup and one is loop. So whatever you want to do once, you're going to do here, right? In the setup section, that is what we learned. Whatever pin initializations or the one-time command that should run, everything you will be given in setup. So what you'll do is, first, okay, I'll just go to Paint and show you the steps to do, and then we'll come here. Here is all this stuff. So first what you do is, disconnection process. Okay, here what you do is you disconnect. Okay, it is difficult to do it in this way. I'll just tell you in Notepad. Okay. The first step would be, you will just first disconnect it from the Wi-Fi. Okay, first you have, what did you do to connect the NodeMCU to Blinky? You just connected it to any Wi-Fi module, and then you just made the NodeMCU to pop data or the push data into the Blinky cloud, right? So first what we need to do is, what if you are connected to any other Wi-Fi and now you want to connect it to any new Wi-Fi? So first our NodeMCU should disconnect to all the Wi-Fi networks. First we disconnect, and the second step that we do is we connect to the Wi-Fi that we need. Okay, connect to the Wi-Fi. If it is not connected to any Wi-Fi, third command would be, if you just tried to connect and it failed to connect, right? It failed, then what you do is, I'll write it like this: not connect. If it is not connected, then what you do? Okay, not connected, then what you do? Then you just give a delay. Then here you just give it. And delay, that means you just wait for 300 milliseconds. Okay, sorry. Yeah, you just wait for 300 milliseconds, because after every 300 milliseconds, the NodeMCU will again try to connect to the Wi-Fi. Okay, if it is not connect, again wait for 300 milliseconds. Wait until it gets connected. Okay, that is what the third stage you want to do. And the fourth stage you want to do is you want to post data to ThinkSpeak. Okay, post the data to the ThinkSpeak. These are the 4 steps now we are going to do. Okay, so first, as per our what we said, first we need to disconnect. So go to IoT stations. In this IoT stations, everything will be available, like disconnect, yeah, if you want as local address, yeah, how to connect and everything. Okay, first you need to disconnect and go to IoT station and connect. Okay, I need to once again back and again go to, because I'm not getting the values. Done IoT. Give me a second. Okay, I'll go to IoT station, and first what we do, first we disconnect. Where is disconnect? Here. Mhm. Okay, where is this disconnected one? Give me a second, I'll connect my mouse. So flexible. Okay, let's go. First disconnect to all the Wi-Fi connections, and now you connect like this. Okay, you need to get my net your password like this. So I'll just give it my password and username. Yeah, this is my username of my Wi-Fi. So I shall give it here, and I need to give it password. Now I have connected. What if I'm not connected? I need to give it a delay, right? That will be available in this IoT panel. Okay, you need to click on this IoT, then this thing will come. Okay, you need to go here, and while it is not connected, just wait for 300 milliseconds. And the last step is you just go to here ThinkSpeak, which is present, and you just select this one. If this is present, just give it your key. I'll tell you how where the key will be present. You just go to ThinkSpeak website and you go to channel settings. Okay, it's not here. Okay, API keys, sorry. Just go to API keys and you need to copy this key. 2 keys will be available. Don't copy this key, you just need to copy this key. Okay, copy this key and done IoT and just paste it here. Okay, it is pasted, the field 1. Okay, here in place of value, we want to send the LDR value, right? LDR, which we are taking in analog pin is 0. So let me delete this thing. Let's take it out and delete this thing. Okay. Now what you go is you go to IO, go to analog, and analog read. This is what we did, right? So we want to analog read and connect this value to here, and our code is done. So this is okay. This seems simple, right? Then we code everything. So click on here and give it some name. I'll just give things IoT. Now this will automatically generate an Node MCU code. Okay, you see here. I'll just go to my downloads. Okay, you see here ThinkSpeak IoT. So double click on that. With some time. Okay, now you need to click on OK because it want to create a folder and then open it. You don't need this thing. Okay, where did I open it? Okay, this thing. Okay, just remove all this thing. Okay, this is the code that it generated. So this is done, and now you can see the same format. Okay, I'll just show you the format. Okay, you see this format, right? You remember this format. Using this, we just pop data into the ThingSpeak, right? So this format here, if you paste and we pop some value, then it will be popped, right? We did this. So in the same format, the node MCU is going to send. It will send the ThingSpeak address first. That means this thing as same as the browser. Okay, you can see here API question mark still now. Okay, next API, it should send the API key. So okay, first it will put it in this request string, and next key it will put the key, and next end field, okay, in the same format that we have it here, and next end field and equal to 0. Okay, in the same format, end field and field 1 equal to, there it is 0 because here it is analog, right? I mean analog rate 0 because we are popping this value, right? Pushing this value, sorry. So it sends in the same format. So what I'll do is I'll just also print this so that you could see it is sending in the same format. I'll just start the serial monitor. Serial dot begin 500 semicolon. Now is ln print a new line, this string, right? Control U. Now these values will get updated in our private here. Instead of we manually doing, they will be updated directly. Okay, just give me a second. Second, let the code upload. Sorry for okay, from port is selected, it's cool. Okay, by the time it gets uploaded, if anyone have any questions, please post them. I'll just answer them. Okay. Okay, When you get this node MC 1.0, then re-upload the code. It is because of impedance match issue. Sorry. Port 5 issue. Serial monitor, serial polarization. Guys, anyone have any questions? Just post them by the time it gets uploaded. My cable is a bit bad because I'm running it too long. Upload it. We'll get uploaded. Guys, I'm audible, right? Please, yes or no? Yeah. Am I audible to you people? Cool. Thanks. Okay, the code is uploading. Pretty cool. The code is uploaded. So either ways, click Control Shift M, or you can go here and click the serial monitor opens. You can see the serial monitor is sending the request in the same way that we sent it in the browser, right? So it is sending some values, something 60 or something. Let's see if they are updated or not. Let's go to the browser, and you can see the values are being updated. 61, 61. Like, okay, now we'll just post another value, which is show it in this way. This thing in this way. Okay, now you can see. And there is an issue in this thing because it updates the value after every 20 milliseconds. Okay, 20 seconds. After every 20 seconds, the ThingSpeak updates the values. Okay, if I close this, it goes to 7. And after all these entries are done, then it will post value of 7. Okay, you can see all the values. Okay, 7. This is posted. Okay, every 20 seconds, the value will be posted. Okay, this is ThingSpeak, and this is how we send values. So if you have any issue in this ThingSpeak, just post. Any questions? Just post questions. Otherwise, I'll just go to a very small topic which is left, and then we'll end up the session today. Any questions? Guys, any questions? Okay. No one is posting any questions. If okay, just tell me if you have any questions or not. Just yes or no. Okay, I'll just go ahead with the next topic which is left. Okay, I'll just go with the next topic which is left, which is called as MQTT. We'll be doing the complete MQTT tomorrow, as it is a bit complicated thing. So I'll just show you what are the installations that you need to do for tomorrow. A small installation that you need to do tomorrow. I want anyone with a laptop to communicate with me, because I'm just doing all the thing. I don't know you people are understanding or not, so that you people need to do. I'll just give you the MQTT. 1 second. Search for mosquito. Okay, this thing. I'll just give you this thing. You need to just click on that and install. That is very easy. You just install, you just click any directory, just it directly gets installed. Like we install games, right? or any software that we install, it will just click install, next, install the same way. I have already installed it, and I'll show you how does this thing work. Okay, I'll just show you today by prompting it. I'll just do it by command prompt, and tomorrow we'll make our node MCU to do the same thing. By using PubSub client library. Okay, I'll just close everything. So that okay, what is CD? CD is means change directory. Means when you are going from one file to another file, you write CD. You write CD dot dot slash dot dot. That means you'll just come 2 directories back. If I write, okay, I need to go to user first. Users and CD. CD. Look, now I changed my directory from C drive to users, and again I'll write another CD as CD. Then I'll come to this directory. Okay, if I click one CD dot dot once, I'll just go 1 directory back, and again CD dot dot 1 directory back. Now my Mosquito, I didn't install in C drive. Don't install your Mosquito in C drive, because C drive all your program files will be available, which might overload your C drive and which will slow up your computer. So I'll do it in E drive. Okay, I did it in E drive. Just you need to click E and colon and enter, then you'll just come to E drive. Now there is another command called as dir directory, which will show what are the files available in that one, in that whole directory. What are the files? Okay, here I have Mosquito. Okay, I'll just go to CD and Mosquito, and I'll just click dir. That means I just went into the directory Mosquito, and I'm just looking into it. Okay, I have some file called as Mosquito exe, right? I need to run this file. When you are running a file, you don't change directory. You just click mosquito.exe, which will run that file. Okay. Mosquito.exe. Okay, enter. Now I am in the server. Okay, to break the server means to come out of the server, just click Control C so that you will come out. Don't close the prompt without pressing Control C. Okay, what it will do is the server will stay on, and it will take some random values, and it will overload your system, and that's shitty, right? Okay, and now my server is on. Now what I'll do is I'll publish some values into the MQTT server. Okay, I'll just show the demo today. How does it work? And tomorrow I'll just explain every pin to pin. Okay. Go to command prompt and the same process, dot dot slash dot dot, and you go to E drive and you click the AIR and you go to CDM. Okay, this time what I'll do is I need to subscribe first before publishing. Okay. Otherwise, if you publish first, the value that you have published without subscribing, if you have published first, then the value which you have published might get lost. So first you need to subscribe. What is subscribing? You are subscribing to some server. And what is publishing? For example, you want Hindu newspaper. The Hindu is going to publish the newspaper, and the paper boy is going to get it to you, right? Here the paper boy is called broker server. There is a broker server which comes into picture when you subscribe and publish. When you hit these two commands, the broker server comes into picture. What this broker server will do, this will take the value which is published, and the value it will subscribe. Sorry, it will give it to the subscriber. That means, for example, I am the Hindu newspaper publisher. I'll publish the data. There is someone else in the middle who will take the paper from me and give it to you. Okay, you are the subscriber. The same thing happens here. To first subscribe, so you write mosquito underscore sub to do this thing. To do sub, what you do is sub tag T. You need to give some name to it to subscribe. The name I'll give is IoT. Let me give some game IoT, and tag H means what is the way that you're going to communicate. Tag H. Don't worry, I'll just do this whole process tomorrow. I'm just giving the demo so that you get an idea of how to install that. Okay, why you're installing it. And I can use the local server also, but I'll use, I think, in a better way. One second, I'll show you. I'll use my IPv4 address. Just click on IP config, which will give all your IP. You just copy this IP address, which is IPv4 address. And after copying it, just paste it here. Okay, just click enter and you are subscribed. Okay, I'll make it large screen and just put it. And take another prompt. Go to cd. Go to cd ./. Okay, now you'll go to directory and one second, I need to go to edrive. Sorry, edrive directory. Okay, dir and cd as mosquito and okay. This thing is disturbing. Now I need to click dir. This time I need to run this file, which is publish. Okay, underscore pub t, which is the same. I need to make the topic same so that both are on the same level. Okay, topic should be same. According to the topic, it will just send the data. For example, I'm this topic, take it as your address. When I publish, I give your address. Consider your address is IoT. So I'm sending it to your address. If I send it some other name called as LED, then it will go to someone else. So I need to make sure I send it to your address correctly. So the tag H and the H should be same and may not be same. It doesn't matter much. Okay, done. Now what you do is tag M, the message that you want to send. For example, I want to send message. Hi all. Now look. Now as you can see, the message that I sent here comes here, right? So I just port some data into the MQTT server or the broker server, and the broker server is sending the data back to me to this prompt. Now what you can do is you make all the installation. Whatever you type in your home, if you publish, I will be subscribing it here and I will get the values here. Okay, whatever you publish, you'll get. For example, if you publish IoT is awesome. Awesome. You get the value. Anything, okay? Till now, is everything clear? This is what I want to show you today. And tomorrow we'll just learn every pin to pin, and I'll make tomorrow a lot more space for you people to just communicate with me and do it with me, okay? Did you get the point? If you have any doubts, then you can ask doubts and I'll just give the attendance link in a minute.